righty. Good morning, my friends. Welcome back. How we doing? How you doing? Welcome back. Good morning. Chef. What's going on, Chef? TTL. Harry. Trust the levels, baby. Morning, Ponzi. Bonjour. Howdy. Morning, morning. All right. We are back. How's everyone doing this morning? How the champs doing? Hopefully good. Hopefully you slept well. Hopefully you feeling good this morning. Where'd I get the TTL shirt? It's something that someone made for me that eventually will get out. Probably going to be free for some of the members. Just a little bit of a just a little appreciative gesture. I'll get those shirts out. I got Marvin helping me with getting some merch going, so got to rep the brand. Michael, I've been wondering where you're at, Michael. Blood pressure under control so I can trade again? That's good to hear. Freezing in Manhattan? Yeah, it's a little warmer this morning in good old Miami. What is it today? 71? Yeah, not too bad, but a high of 79. That's beautiful. High of 79. Love it. Cybertruck launched today? Yeah. If you guys watch, what a great interview. At least, I mean, I don't, people are all soft online, but great interview. I just watched the entire Elon Musk interview yesterday. I watched the entire thing this morning. I think it was like an hour and a half. I've been basically watching that since I woke up, and that was an interesting, definitely a good watch. I actually bought myself an espresso maker. So I got myself a nice, it's out now, but I had a nice, beautiful, fresh espresso this morning. Nice, all just, did it all myself. So it takes a lot of sort of dialing in, they call it. I've been learning a lot about how to make coffee because of my interest in opening up a coffee shop. Yeah, I purchased an espresso maker, and it's fun. So, good coffee this morning. Definitely. Might have another one here after the live stream, honestly. Probably going to have a lot of espresso moving forward. Yeah, frothed the milk. Got it the right, it's called the right burr. If you guys are familiar with espresso. Needed the right burr setting. A lot of stuff. No, I didn't buy a La Marzocco. That would be the Marzocco would be for the business. But yeah, I mean, a good La Marzocco. That's like a $30,000 machine right there, man. Espresso makers are not cheap. That's like a $10,000 to $30,000 espresso machine. Like the commercial ones are wild. I did not know how expensive. Some of them are like $100K, which is just wild. But my coffee shop will go broke. I appreciate that, man. Thanks. All right. Well, let's get started. So, welcome back, my friends. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Hopefully, you are waking up on the right side of the pillow. Hopefully feeling good, ready to go, feeling refreshed. And yeah, let's do it. So if you guys could, if you're if you're coming into the live stream early, go ahead and smash that like button for me. You got about 900 people here early. Press that like button. Let's get those likes going quickly. Yeah, I mean, you make it back, Austin, in no time. I agree. If you're buying it for a business, sure, yeah, $30,000. If you're open every day of the year, it's $82 in coffee a day. You should absolutely be making that back. Yeah, and like you said, Will, coffee has the best margins. Coffee and alcohol are some insane margins, man. That's why it's so interesting. All right, schedule, economic earnings calendar, economic calendar today. We got some, as you guys can see in the title of the live stream, we definitely have some news this morning. So let's go ahead and zoom into that. Excuse me. All right. So today is Thursday. Man, this week's gone sort of slow for me. It's felt like a really slow week. I've sort of wanted it to go by because I really like the weekends now, man. I don't know about you guys, but the weekends are just, it's just, you work so hard during the week. You really grind it out. And God, that weekend, just to sort of, I don't know, maybe I'm getting old, man. Maybe I'm just getting old. But that weekend where I can just take my mind off the market, it is refreshing. I'm excited for this little holiday, this holiday. I love this. Maybe it's because December's coming up. And December is my favorite month of the year. I love December. It's cold, holidays, family. It's just a great time. So, Thursday, that's today, right? Today is Thursday. And today we have PCE at 8:30, and we have jobless claims, unemployment claims, jobless claims, whatever you want to call it. PCE price index at 8:30 as well. You got some personal spending, personal income. So, that's what we're watching today, right? 8:30, right? We're watching PCE, unemployment, and personal income, personal spending, right? So let's keep an eye on that. Let's keep an eye on that data. That's going to be coming out live here at 8:30, all right? So that's that. And I don't want to talk too much about it. I could talk all day about the competition, but I actually think it would be the opposite. I think it would be easy to compete with, at least where I live in Naples. It'd be easy to compete with Dunkin' and Starbucks because, God, do those places suck inside, right? I want to build somewhere where people can come and work and chill and sort of vibe, drink a coffee, meet with friends, even trade, right? I even thought about, hey, what if I set up a little, maybe a little area inside the shop with maybe just 3 monitors that you could HDMI into. I want to create like an environment more than just a shit like. Where I live, Starbucks inside is a disaster. But hey, let's move forward. I don't want to talk too much about this. I'm actually thinking about, in 2024, I'm thinking about starting a video game stream where I can just sort of talk to you guys because I have so much on my mind, more than stocks. I'm a really, at least I think I am, very business savvy. Obviously what I've built, and all that. I'm very business. I like business. I like, chilling. I want to reach out to you guys more than just talking about stocks. So something that I'm interested in doing in 2024. Maybe you guys would support me. I don't know. So that's the economic calendar. We had earnings yesterday. We had Snowflake and CRM, which both did very well. Snowflake, CRM, much higher on earnings. So that was that. You guys can watch that today. I actually I'll do a little bit of analysis on Snow and CRM for you guys. They are pushing into some big levels. So I will go over those. Today after hours, we do have some earnings as well. I'll go ahead and pop that up for you guys just so you can see. There we go. So yesterday, Snow, CRM, right? Those were the big ones yesterday. Today we have Ulta. That's really the big one. Ulta. Marvell, maybe a little bit of semiconductor action there, but mostly Ulta. That's been a big one. So yeah, keep an eye on that if you're interested. And that's pretty much it for earnings, guys. All right. So Tesla, 246 today, right? 100 SMA. We're sitting right at that 100 SMA, right at it. So we got to watch that 100 SMA today on Tesla at 246. Nvidia, 485. It's still below it. Got to watch that level again. AMD doing a very interesting break and retest of $124 a share. I like this for a watch a lot today. Man, does that look good? That little fade on the beard, he did a good job. I keep on looking at this fade right here. It's a nice little fade right there. Apple, 191 supply, big level to be watching today. We fell back below that 191 supply on Apple. That's very important, something that needs to be monitored. This Google setup is probably my most favorite setup today. It's a Google under 137.50. Definitely interested in this one. Meta 336 and Microsoft 380. So some interesting moves yesterday, right? Let me take a second and sort of talk through what happened yesterday. We'll do that right now. But yesterday, guys, the key thing that happened yesterday, right? There's one takeaway. There is one takeaway. I appreciate that, Josh. There is one takeaway that you need to know, you need to pay attention to from yesterday. It is the fact that the Nasdaq broke the channel high, right? And it could not hold above it, right? That is very important, guys, and something that should not be, sort of ignored. The fact that the Nasdaq broke that channel high yesterday and could not hold above it and actually turned it back into a rejection intraday is very important, right? And so this makes me believe, at least for now, obviously I'm not going to trade off of before I see the action, but this makes me believe as of now that you are going to have a very difficult time getting back over that supply high, right? And so I am definitely interested in fading the 16.1 supply today, right? That is definitely that's where I'm leaning towards today. It doesn't mean I'm going to irrationally short that level, right? That's not, when you start to understand the market, you can disconnect your thoughts from your actions. But as of right now, my thoughts on this market are that this break and fail to hold above is very telling, right? And something that needs to be paid attention to because the bulls really needed to hold this level higher, right? This is where the bullish action needed to step up yesterday. It needed to step up there, and they did not hold it up, right? So that is telling, and I would be very careful now being long into 16,100. Right, I would be very careful being long into 16,100, guys, today on the Nasdaq futures. This is a very obvious previous rejection point multiple times, right? And if we go into that 5-minute chart, look at what happened here late day yesterday, right? Look at this little late day move yesterday. This is also very telling, right? We can see right here, the Nasdaq moved back into that demand, right? This was the pullback into demand that we talked about on the live stream, but there was a lack of strength here, right? There was not enough strength to hold this up, and we failed, and we turned it into a rejection, right? We failed it. We moved back higher on an attempt to push back above, and we failed, right? Right here. That's a very key fail. So today, I am looking for that same thing, right? I am looking to see if that 16.1 will turn into a rejection point. That is definitely something I'm eyeing today. I also want to watch this level. I will add this to my charts here today because this was the perfect little break and retest yesterday of a rejection level. So I am going to add 16,140 to my supply as well today. If we do get above that 16.1, I would still be cautious of that 16,140, right? And why is that? Because you can see right here, yesterday, intraday, you had a pre-market low, right? Which broke and rejected intraday, right? You see that right there? That is a very key little flip, right? This was a very key flip. This was actually, I don't know, it's probably going to be hard for me to find it, but if you guys are part of the Discord, I'm not going to prove it, but, intraday yesterday, we were saying, hey, we might want to long this demand, but we need to be careful of us rejecting this pre-market low. And this is exactly what the market did. So this was very clean yesterday. And now, right, I need to be aware of that level, right? I need to be aware of that 16,140 level. If this market does get above 16.1 area, I still need to be careful of that 16,140. So overall, guys, I'm not going to say I'm bearish, but I am going to say that if you're just reading technical structure, if you're reading market structure, this was a bearish move yesterday, right? Because the market needed to hold above these channel highs, and it failed to do so. It failed back below it, and I would be very weary of the longs into this 16.1 and even into this 16.140 today. So be careful of that. That's the major levels that I would be watching above. We talked about this on the live stream yesterday. We said, please do not chase longs in the pre-market. Please do not chase longs after a big pre-market push, and you can see what happened to everyone chasing longs. So again, right, the market is not kind to people that are chasing, especially when you see this action, right? This action has been sideways. The market has wanted to stay sideways. Big moves in either direction have sort of reverted to the mean, and so you are not trading extremes, right? We don't want to trade the extremes when the market has been reverting to a mean for about 2 weeks now, right? We need to understand that. So be careful on these big pushes, right? 16,100, 16,140, demand below 16,000, and demand below 15,940. It's the same levels. We're right back in the channel that we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. 16,100, 16,000, 16,140, 15,940. All right? QQQ. You guys can see right here, right? 391, 391.50. This was that supply high, that channel high that was rejecting, right? We knew that. We got above it yesterday, and look at what happened intraday, right? Look at this right here. You guys can see right here that QQQ tried to hold that 391.50 demand. It failed, right? You can see right here. We rejected, came back into demand. We attempted to hold that demand, and we failed, right? Now, when you came back up into that demand, you turned it into a supply, right? Look how telling that little market is right there. These are the little things that you need to be able to see, right, on the charts, right? This right here, guys, is so meaningful. Just this, right? This may not look meaningful to some, if you're not fully understanding of the structure on the market, but this little flip right here yesterday was very important, right? Because this is a channel high that attempted to hold, and it failed to hold, and it turned back into a rejection, right? So very important there. So what are you watching today? Well, the QQQ is coming back into that level. So what I would be watching is, does the QQQ reject this area again today, right? This 391, 391.50. Does it reject this little rejection point from yesterday once again? If it does, potential downside action, right? Potential downside action, maybe some supply rejection trades here at this 391, 391.50. If you get back above it, right? If you get back above it, what's the level that you're watching? It's that same thing I just talked about on the Nasdaq futures. It's this little pre-market low, sort of retest rejection that happened intraday yesterday. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that in just a second, so you guys can see right here. If I go down to the 5-minute and I go into yesterday's price action, look at this little flip that happened yesterday as well, right? Look at this. Previous lows and this high right here, right? You can see right there, previous lows and this high right here. So if we do get above that 391.50, I am then being cautious at that 392.50, right? Because that is this little rejection yesterday and this little pre-market low. So pre-market low, break and retest. So I need to be careful of being long into that level today. That's 392.50. So those are my levels that I'm watching on the QQQ. I'm first watching this 391.50. I'm looking to see if it rejects. If it does, interested in that short side. If it gets above, I'll be cautious into that 392.50. Those are the two levels that I'm watching to the upside. To the downside, it's really just this demand, right? This channel low demand, right? It's really just this channel low demand. 388.50 You could call it 388, right? It's this whole sort of general zone. Anywhere between 388.50 and 388 has been a pretty important demand hold level. You guys can see right here. If I go to the 30-minute chart, you can see it's been sort of maintaining that general zone all in here, right? Previous highs turning into demand, right? This 388, 388.50 has continued to maintain the market up. So while the market did reject yesterday, right, you have to also make sure you take into consideration, yeah, it rejected, and yeah, we're back under this channel high, but also, right, on the flip side, you didn't break anything. You didn't really break anything that would scream, we're going down, 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 right? You didn't break any important demands yet. So you can still see, right, on the structure of the market, yes, we rejected, and yes, I do believe that this fail back below this channel high is very important and could lead to weakness. I also can see here, this is not breaking important demands. It's still not breaking important demands. So got to stay objective here. Got to stay looking at both sides, trading these levels. I would be watching the 16.1 supply today. I'd also still respect, right, the 16,000 demand. All right, ES. So ES, right, what did it do yesterday? If you guys go to the live stream, if you go back and, sort of review what we talked about, you guys probably remember 4,600, right? 4,600. You can see right here, 4,600. Hold on one second. You guys can see right here, we got a push into 4,600, and we had a beautiful, beautiful rejection. Absolutely beautiful. It was a, perfect little, if we go into intraday commentary on the Discord, it was a very obvious, right here, ES update. Please be aware of this 4,600 on ES, major supply. Careful on entering new longs, right? And this was just perfect. It was perfect. It was levels, man. And that's all you, right? If you just play technical levels, you should have known, if you either come to the live stream or you actually do your own analysis, right? You should have known that the level was approaching the 4,600 supply that we talked about, right? And that is exactly where you start to potentially exit longs. You're careful of longs, right? You're understanding that you're moving into supply. This is at 9:58 yesterday. You can see this is right where we were pushing into the supply at 45.94, and that is where the market ultimately rejected. All right, and so those are just the things that, that should not, guys, right? I see it still in the Discord. I see it everywhere, and that's fine because I know we're newer traders. We're getting used to trading. That is not out of the ordinary. This is not what the fuck. The market's rigged. Fuck this shit. I can't believe the market's moving lower. That is not that, right? That is the market. And you need to understand and accept, and that is what will happen, right? So yesterday was gorgeous. Quite honestly, if you didn't like yesterday's action, it's because you were long into supply, right? That's why. You need to understand what's making you upset in trading. Is it because you're wrong? Right? Probably, right? But that's not a reason to hate the market, right? The market is doing what the market does. And that is just a beautiful rejection at 4,600 on the ES yesterday. And that is straight from the live stream. That's straight off our levels. And that's a very clean trade, right? And so, awesome, right? Awesome. Love to see it. And we can see right here, right? Look what happened later day, right? Look what happened later day. Look at this level right here, later day. You can see right here we had this, what did we have? Tuesday's highs, right? See that Tuesday high right there? See that Tuesday high right there at 45.77, right? What happened later day? Look at this. Look how clean this action is on the ES yesterday. 45.77. This was that previous demand, right? Look, it tried to hold, right? It tried to hold after the big pullback. It did not. What happened on the ES after failing back below 45.77? Look at how beautiful this area of rejection is, right? And you can see these levels at work, right? You can see the levels at work right here, yesterday's price action on the ES. This is what gets me excited about trading, right? Because this is predictable. This is predictable action. And so you had 4,600 supply. You came back into that previous high right here, 45.77. You tried to hold it. You failed, right? You came back into it. That's a break and retest, right? And that is gorgeous, predictable price action. And so this is what you want to be looking for, right? These flips of key levels. So what are we watching today? The same damn thing, right? The same damn thing. 45.77, right? So if we push into that level today, you better be aware of that potential rejection, right? And if we break above that level, then there's possibility of the market maintaining and pushing higher, right? And so what's the next level that I'd be watching above that? It's the same thing we were just talking about on the Nasdaq. It's right here, right? This 45.82. You guys can see that. Let me zoom out so I can drag this over. See this 45.82 level, right? What is this level? This is the rejection point that came in yesterday. Okay, I do not want it like that. What happened to my transparency? 75 transparency, bam. All right. So, right, if we zoom in on this 5-minute chart on the ES, if we get over that 45.77, right, look at this. You see this? Previous high, previous lows, little flip intraday, 45.82, right? That's our level. If we do get over that 45.77, we move into that 45.82. That's our next level to watch there. All right. So once again, guys, key levels, let's trade off of them, right? You can see the ES is pushing higher into that 45.77 as we speak. That's going to be something to really pay attention to, right? Do we reject this level again? We need to be aware of that. If we get above it, I would watch the 45.82. And then, of course, above that is the 4,600. All right? So that's the levels to the upside. To the downside, right? To the downside, you can see my same, right? I don't want you to think I'm overly bearish here because I'm not. I'm just watching key levels. The reason why you can't be overly bearish here is because the ES, while it did reject 4,600 and while it did fall back below that channel high, it did not break demand levels, right? It didn't even come back to test this demand level at 45.50. So you are still holding in a bullish structure, technically, if you look at this big picture, right? You are still holding above these lows. So that is very important, right? This hold that continues to come in is why I am not going to aggressively short this. I'll look for it, right? I'll try to take a stab at it if it starts to look weak. But this is no more than a potential scalp back towards demand, right? This is not a, I'm entering shorts here for, 2024 markets down 35%. And I'm rich. That's not really the trade there. The trade here is, maybe there's a little rejection intraday today, but I can't trust that any more than maybe a move into yesterday's lows. And then I got to be careful of that demand holding again. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. It's an important break back below supply, right? I would be watching that supply, but you also need to make sure you understand big picture, and that is that demand is still holding below. Let's go to SPY real quick before the data comes out. SPY, obviously 454 demand below. If we go into that 15-minute chart, we can see the level that flipped yesterday. It's right here. It's that 456.50. You can see it rejected right here yesterday on SPY. That's that 456.50, 456, right? That's your supply zone. If you get back above that 456.50, it's the same concept here. You just line up the levels. Where's that little rejection that came in yesterday on the SPY? It's right here, 457, right? 457 is that little rejection that came in intraday. That's the level you put on your charts. It lines up perfectly with the ES, with the Nasdaq, with the QQQ. All right? So 457 on the SPY, that's this little wick high here. This little channel high that came in yesterday is 456.50, right? We're watching those levels as we push to the upside. And, that's that. Demand down at 454. All right, so let's see. We got economic data here in about now. Let's see if there's any reaction here on the market. Let's see if there's any reaction here on the market. Okay, ES with a little bit of downside slip there. Okay, coming back up, coming back down, coming back up. Let's see if we get the data. Okay, looks like we possibly are breaking that supply here. So we'll have to reassess this if we start to see this hold above. Oh, yeah, a little heavy there. Little heavy there still. I'm waiting for the data to see if it comes up here on the SPY. Usually it does. I don't know why it's not there. Jobless claims 218 versus 220. All right, so pretty much in line. Wonder what the PCE was. There it is. All right, so jobless claims 218 versus 220. Personal spending, flat. It's less than the prior, but it is flat versus expectations. PCE 0.2. Yeah, I mean, it's all within expectations, it looks like. Year over year, 3.5, 3.5. The numbers are all meeting expectations. All right. So all economic things meeting expectations pretty much. Markets, yeah, a little bit of a move higher, but you gotta watch that 45.77 today. You can see it's starting to get a little tired there. So this is gonna be big. All right, let's go to the Nasdaq now. Yeah, look at that, right? Look at that 16.1 rejection. So that's your level, right? That's your level. You can see the tired action that's sort of happening in here. So that is definitely going to be our watch. If we reject this 16.1 today, I like this for downside, man. But we need to see if we stay, if we stay weak under this 16.1. But you can start to see that wick. Look at that wick that was just formed there. So very nice level there. Very nice supply. All right. And with that, we run our first ad of the day. Looks like a punt on 4th and short. Yeah, it might be. It might be there. It might be there, Piff. Looks like they might have punted it away. I don't know. We'll see, man. We can't get too confident to either side, but as of right now, that is a very clean rejection there on the Nasdaq futures and a very clean little 391.50 wick back below on the QQQ. So, big watch. Big watch. All right. Let's continue. W ads. W mans. All right. So, Teslita. Here we go. So what level are we watching here? I think we're still watching this 246. I think this is really it. This 246 level and this 100 SMA, I think, is the main area to be watching on Tesla today. It might be a little bit north of 246. Maybe it's 240. I'm going to put a line at this high. The high of this candle is 246.70. So I'll put my line there at 246.70. That is really the main area I'm watching here, right? You can see right here, 246.70, previous high there. And what are we doing right now at that level? It's a little break and retest rejection setting up potentially. What else is right here? This is the 100 SMA, right? Look at this 246.70 level this morning. That doesn't get much cleaner. But you also can see, right? You can see how Tesla tried to hold that 100 SMA yesterday, ultimately failed, moved right into demand at 243, right? And look at this maybe a little bear flag, right? Into that 246.70 supply, and it's definitely coming down now. It is I think Brian said this, someone said it. It's a crime that we can't trade options pre-market because, yeah, I'd be short Tesla off that. So really nice little double top there on Tesla, 246.70. That's that exact level that I just talked about, right? It's not voodoo magic, right? That is this exact high. This exact high is 246.70. And so if we go into the 5-minute, the exact area that Tesla is rejecting right now is 246.70. So that's very key, right? That's very key. Very obvious. Watch that 246.70 area. Honestly, I would watch this. I wouldn't want to be long, to be quite honest. I wouldn't want to be long into any of these levels on Tesla. I'm not too interested in being long into that 249. I'm not too interested in being long into this 250, right? I'm not too interested in any of this action from yesterday. So a little bit cautious up there on Tesla. Maybe you can catch a really strong hold here at the 246.70. Maybe you can catch a long here and get a nice squeeze. That's possible today. If you can reclaim that 246.70, if you can really hold above this 100 SMA that's running across your screen. Maybe you catch that, but I would be a little bit more interested and more careful of that 246.70 turning into a rejection, and then obviously just watching the demand below at 243, right? If you short Tesla today here, right? If you short Tesla today here, guys, this is something that you need to pay attention to in this market. If you short Tesla here today, you cannot have expectations of trading Tesla to your price target of $50, right? That is not the market you are in. If you short Tesla today off 246.70, your price target is here, all right? And it's no further than that. It is no further. If you are truly scalping and trading this market and actually a profit taker, your short here has to be a profit take at 243, because we are not going to mess with the previous day lows and hope that they break, right? That is not a trade. We're not hoping that demand levels break. We're trading from supply to demand, right? We are trading from supply to demand, and we are profit taking in that move, right? So that's again what I live by, especially in a sort of sideways choppy market. There is going to be reversions of means. There's going to be demand holds, right? So if you do take that short today, your expectation is a low move into this 243. That's about all you can grab. Maybe you can grab more, but you need to be careful of having those really high expectations, right? This could just be a little pullback into this previous high, right? And this could just be a hold and another possible move higher. So make sure you understand your levels before you trade them, right? Make sure you understand where's the demand, where do I need to be out of this trade, where could Tesla potentially hold up, et cetera, et cetera. Nvidia, 485, right? 485. You guys can see that right there. 485, right? A little bit of a push above yesterday, failed to hold above it. Now, if I go down to the 5-minute chart, what happened late day on Nvidia? Look at this, right? We got above it. We failed to hold. What did we do when we tried to go back into 485? Bam, in your face, right? Right at 485 again. So what are you watching today? 485, right? It's the same level. So if we push higher into that level, watch for that potential rejection, right? Very clear. That's a very important level. We could see if there's a little pop into supply, little rejection action, possibly a nice little supply fade. That's definitely a big watch for me today. If we get above that 485 and we hold above it, possible long, right? Possible long. I took a little long on Nvidia yesterday, got out with some profits, right, on that holdover. So I'm definitely interested in playing both sides. But if we are below that level, then my first priority is supply rejections, right? Priority is the supply rejection if we're below it. If we get above it, right, then I'll look for that long on a hold above it. So 485 Nvidia, same level we've been talking about for weeks now. I don't want to boost my ego, but what did we say that Nvidia could do yesterday, right? What did we say? Go back and rewind to our Nvidia analysis yesterday. You will remember something that we talked about. We talked about longing, right? Seeing Nvidia fill the gap and then continue back to the upside, right? And we talked about how you don't want to be the one that chases the long, right? Gets stopped out, watches the demand hold, and then see this continue higher. That very well could have happened to many people yesterday, and that is exactly what we talked about. We said do not long Nvidia on a chase, because if it pulls back, it could hold that demand, that gap fill demand, right? And it could continue higher. That is exactly what Nvidia is doing, right? So you can see Nvidia failed that 45, came back down, right? You can see that it held that gap fill demand, right? You can see right there, gap fill demand right there, held up, right? And so, hey, that was actually a very nice demand hold, right? And actually a pretty nice long opportunity on a pullback, right? Once again, what's the reoccurring theme here? What are the good long opportunities? On pullbacks, right? Pullbacks to demand continue to be good long opportunities, and it's no different here on Nvidia, right? Pullback, previous, this is your gap fill area from that pre-market move, nice hold, right? And continuation to the upside. So today, 485, 478. That's Nvidia. AMD, we longed this yesterday in the Discord. This was a really beautiful trade. I can go down to the 2-minute chart, and I will show you guys why I longed AMD yesterday. What level were we talking about yesterday in the voice chat or in the Discord or in the live stream? 124, right? Look at this 2-minute chart off 124. 124, 124. Look at that demand hold early morning on AMD at 124. What is that level? All right, what's 124? Well, let's go out to the 30-minute. All right, 124 is the previous channel high, right? Channel high 124. Yesterday morning, break and hold above channel high. Big squeeze. Really nice trade. Quick win there. What are we doing right now? All right. What are we doing right now on AMD? Look at this. We have broken, we have pulled back, and we have attempted to maintain above 124. If AMD is above 124, right, there is full possibility of another demand hold stepping in and another potential long opportunity, right? And this could also, it doesn't have to be exactly 124. It could come down to around 123.70, 123.50. Honestly, it could even come down into there, right? It doesn't have to be exactly 124. It's this whole general previous high. So you can see previous highs here, 124, 123.50. It's not exactly 124. It's this general area, and you can even see yesterday, look where it held. So what am I watching today? Pretty clean, right, guys? I'm watching to see, is this a break and retest and then a consolidation for more upside, right? Very clean. That's what I'm watching today. Apple, Google, Meta, Microsoft. Apple, Google, Meta, Microsoft. Apple, Google, Meta, Microsoft. So what did Apple do yesterday? Well, Apple squeezed over the 191 supply, right? But where did it push into? Bam. And bam. And bam, right? 192, triple top, very important there on Apple. We fell back below 191. Look what happened on Apple after failing back below 191. Look at how clean this was. And I know one of you guys in the chat caught this. I remember you bringing it up. So you can see, look at this 192 fail. What happened on Apple after falling back below supply, right? Look at this. Look at these rejections. Look at these 5-minute wicks. This is so telling. This is what's so important, right? Look at those 5-minute wicks. That is what you need to learn to understand and what you need to learn to recognize intraday. I don't care, at least in my opinion, guys, and I don't hate on anyone's trading, right? I do not do that. That is immature, childish, and such a waste of time in your actual life, right? If you hate on other people, you are a child, right? So I do not hate on what other people do, but I strongly believe that you do not need anything else. I don't think you need level 2. I don't think you need time in sales. I don't think you need anything to recognize, if you really recognize price action, if you really understand what the candles are telling you, and you have the correct supply levels, right? You have the correct levels on your chart. There is not much that I need besides these candles to understand what is happening at this level, right? Look at that. You can see here, wick rejection, right? We come back below it. Look at this 5-minute candle here, wick rejection. We come back into it. Look at this 5-minute candle here, wick rejection, right? And at that point, that should tell you with enough confidence that that 192 supply level that you had on your charts is turning back into a supply, right? And we know that 192 is important because we've done our analysis, right? And we know that there has been previous rejections at those levels, right? You can see that. So that's my opinion, right? And that's why I think that's one of the things I would highly recommend really paying attention to, right? It's just, you can read this stuff through price action. I think everything else is a little bit of noise if you could just read these candles, right? So would I buy it at the first? Joe, this is, I could tell you with confidence, this would be a position where I'd probably buy it on the first rejection. But this is the exact situation, Joe, that you need to have confidence in your plan and you need to be patient, right? Because, for example, and you guys know how I trade. If you watch me in the Discord, you know, I'm not pulling this out of my ass. If I would have shorted this 191 level here, right, and we came back up into this level, this candle would have not stopped me out of this trade. I know for 100% certainty, and you guys know that, right? This candle does not stop me out of a trade, right? Because I need a solid confirmation that my plan is incorrect. I need to see Apple do this, right? Start to do this, start to really hold above, right? Start to really prove to me that it is going to hold back above that level. A 2-minute candle does not stop me out of a trade ever, right? But this requires confidence and emotionless management of a trade, right? Because this should not stop you out of a trade. If that is stopping you out of a trade, you are shaking in your boots, right? You are shaking in your boots, right? You are scared of the outcome that you are in. This is not enough, right? A 2-minute candle is not enough to take you out of a trade, right? This needs to be, right? And I know if I would have taken this rejection, I would have had to stay patient here and understood, hey, okay, we got above level, we got above 191, but let me see if it really holds above, right? I'm not going to just get scared out of this trade. Let me see if this actually holds above, and the next 2-minute candle would have told me, yeah, it's clearly stuck, it's back below, I'm staying in this trade, right? And then you see the result. So you got to have a little bit of confidence when you're trading at major levels, right? You can't just be scared out of a 2-minute push above, right? You can't just be panicking out of trades. If you are, you're trading with way too much size, okay? Google. So this is a very interesting trade for me today on Google. This could be a sexy little break and retest, man. This could be a sexy little break and retest. Yeah, great question, Joe. And yeah, I hope that makes sense, man. This could be sexy. So what is Google doing here? You guys can see right here, previous lows, 137.50, 137.50, 137.50, 137.50, 137.50, 137.50. Every single time, 137.50. So we're under that level. What am I looking for today? Bam, bam, bam. All right, that's exactly what I'm looking for today at Google. I'm looking for the previous major demand lows to break and retest and hold below. If we get back above, trade's invalidated, I'm out, right? But if we stay below, right, and I'm not going to get panicked out over a little 2-minute candle over it, right? That's not why I get out, right? I'm going to maintain and sort of monitor and see if that rejection sort of sticks around that 137.50, all right? Meta, Microsoft, and then we're out of here. Meta, right? You can see major 340 rejection yesterday. Major, right? That 340 level is just, you could even now move it a little bit higher. It's like 341, really. That thing is a brick wall up there, right? You can see 341, 341, 341, and 341 yesterday. Bam. So big drop off that, right back into this demand. I would say demand is like 332. It's like 332, 331.50. It's this general area here. You can see demand here, demand here, demand here, and it's starting to hold here again. So what I would look for on Meta is either this, right, back into 336 and a rejection, or a break and hold below that 332. All right. What do I got next? I'll go Microsoft, Amazon, and Snow. Microsoft, Amazon, Snow. Yep. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay. This is the first time I looked at Microsoft since the news was released. This is perfection here on Microsoft. I would love to see this work out. So you guys can see, this is the little TA that we do every day, right? And so, all right, here's the little Microsoft chart. Let me pull it up here real quick. There we go. So you can see this is the little Microsoft trade that I shared this morning, and I said I'm looking for this level to reject, right here, 380.70. Looking for this previous high and this previous low to turn into a rejection point. And yep. So I'm short Microsoft. If you guys know, if you're in the chat, you know that. I sold a Microsoft put overnight. This is exactly what I was looking for. So very interested in Microsoft here. I would say Microsoft, if it stays weak, probably moves towards that 377 demand. All right. Amazon and Snow. So Amazon staying pretty weak here, right? Pretty weak on Amazon. It has been pretty weak. If I go to the 30 day, 1 hour, there's a lot of levels below on Amazon. That's my only concern. So the first level I'd watch here today is 145.50, guys. If you're looking at Amazon, I'd watch 145.50. That's this little double bottom low right here. That would be the low that I'd be careful of. That could potentially hold. If you break 145.50, you move into the 144.70 low from right here. All right? So 145.50 is your first level to watch on Amazon. I just wanted to show Snow, guys, so that the people that are thinking about slamming call options the second the market opens, I just want to make sure you understand what's happening here. Go to the 4-hour chart and understand where Snow is, right? Look at this 4-hour chart. Snow is right at a 4-hour double top after earnings. So please be aware of that. Please do not put your life savings into calls at supply. 195 supply. You guys can see that right there. Very clear. Be careful of that 195. All right. All right, guys. That's all I got. If you guys could, we got about, I think, a little bit over 900 likes. If you guys could slam that like button for me. Get the live streams moving. Let's get the momentum, the violence, the speed, the momentum. Let's keep it going. I appreciate you guys for all the support, for everything, for being here, for supporting me in my journey, supporting, hopefully I'm helping support you in your journey, right? I hope it's an equal relationship there. That's what we all hope for. So hopefully you feel like I'm providing content for you. Hopefully you're learning. I'd assume you are if you're coming back. So thank you guys so much. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Winning loser, I think you're sarcastic there. I hope you are. If not, just wait a few seconds for the outro to run, and maybe your question will be answered. But I think you're kidding. So thank you guys again. Press that like button. Coupon code user error. That's definitely a coupon code that I'll be using in the future. Maybe next Black Friday, coupon code will be user error. Maybe I'll just make it a coupon code and I won't say anything, and maybe if someone tries it, it'll work for them. Maybe I'll do that. Thank you guys again. Press that like button, or maybe I'll make a coupon code. Yeah. But then you're gonna have to guess how many yayas are in the coupon code, right? That's gonna be, maybe it's like a free. It's a free membership if you can guess how many yayas are in the coupon code. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Hasta la vista.